You've obviously heard what's happening now with this whole road tolls thing. What do you think happened?
I'm not against user pay services. I mean, that's really what's being proposed. But the government has to find a way to get more revenue. This is just another tax. I'd argue to say that if you're going to tax that user base to drive on that road, find an area where you can cut. So the overall tax paid by the people is the same, at least. This is another tax. So if you're going to propose it, find somewhere to cut. That's the only way to do this. Otherwise, it's unfair.
What would you do? I mean, you have to make, where would you make cuts?
You know, you have to prioritize. If it's important that you have user pay services, and that seems to be the way we're going, you've got to find a way where there's, in every government budget, there's fat. In every business budget, there's fat. When I go to my managers or my CEOs and say, look, I want you to cut costs 15%, they find a way to do it. It has to be the same way in government.
Okay, and let me ask you, I mean, what do you think happened behind the scenes, though? I mean, this was something that Tory said that was likely going to happen. He even told us that Kathleen Wynne didn't rule it out, so it was all, we all thought this was going to come to fruition, this tolls thing, and then all of a sudden today, or last night, we hear it's not happening. What do you think happened?
I have different feelings about John Tory and Kathleen Wynne. Kathleen Wynne is an incompetent manager, and I've been very vocal about that. These are harsh words, but it doesn't distract from the fact that it's the truth. Okay? Anybody who signs a contract for 30 years at 40 times the price of electricity, which is what happened with these wind deals, that's why her government is practically bankrupting many small businesses with energy costs. She's a failure in that. You can't hide that. And that's what I can't stand, when they try and BS it or spin it. I'm shining light of transparency on that stuff. John, the mayor, he's fighting a different battle. I consider him a better manager, but he knows if you're going to tax one thing, he's got to find a way to relieve that tax somewhere else. And he's struggling with it. The city of Toronto is the 4th largest city in North America. It is a huge challenge.
But you saw how angry he got at today's press conference, or you must have heard about it. I mean,
I like that. I like that. I think you have to get emotional when you're doing big decisions. You have to understand that you want to drive your message. I don't have a problem with him driving his message. Look, if you have something to say and you want to get emotional about it, I'm cool with it.
But, I mean, do you think this was a whole political thing? I mean, she basically told him it was going to happen, and then it didn't happen. Look, she's saving her behind? Like, what's happening here? What do you think's happening behind the scenes?
Today, when you're dealing with politics, because of social media, and you know this better than anybody else, these debates, discussions, negotiations happen in the public. You can't do it in secret anymore, in private. It doesn't work. That's what you're seeing. You're watching sausage being made here. This is the essence of politics. Get used to it. That's how it's going to be going from now on. That's just the nature of the beast.